should I be worried if my partner still likes adult movies? And I'm assuming that by adult movies, they're referring to porn as opposed to, adult movies versus cartoons. But, I guess the question came in where you really had to process it sometimes and go, what is it that they're actually asking? What do they mean by X, Y, Z here?
I know, and that was true in a lot of Dolly Doctor questions. So I had to sort of say, this is what I think you mean by this expression. And adult movies is it's sort of a quaint, old-fashioned expression, I think. I feel like it's the sort of thing my grandmother would have said. So the answer to this is, again, it depends. I think it's important to acknowledge that it's a kind of natural aspect of human sexuality and in its diversity that many people enjoy watching other people have sex. Okay. And of course, for the majority of people, that's through, films, filming of people having sex rather than actually physically watching other people have sex. Although, of course, that happens too. And over history, that's happened in lots of different ways. So it's a kind of natural aspect of human sexuality. But when there's a couple and one person, there's a whole lot of possibilities with this question where it might be something to worry about. And that is if you feel that your partner is perhaps starting to view porn in a compulsive way. And I certainly see young people who are really quite worried about their own pornography consumption, that they've become a little bit obsessed with it, that they feel a little bit addicted to it. And, there's no sort of right or wrong answer to how much is too much. The answer is if it becomes a problem for you. In the case of a relationship, if it becomes a problem for the relationship, then it's about talking that through and resolving it. I think a lot of young women, particularly those who wrote to Dolly, were worried that it meant there was something wrong with them if their partner enjoyed watching porn, so their male partner enjoyed watching porn. And that's something, again, that's not the case. Like, lots of people enjoy watching porn for perfectly normal reasons, but it can be a problem in a relationship when either there's a kind of imbalance or one person feels that it's a problem. However, I will say that there's been more and more research, particularly in recent years, that's expressed a lot of concern about the impact that watching porn is having on heterosexual sexual activity. And that is that a lot of the kind of mainstream, readily accessible porn that young people are viewing tends to depict acts that some young people, and particularly young women, see as violent. So hair pulling, a bit of slapping. These kinds of things might be fine, but what some of the research now is starting to show is that men are thinking this is what they're supposed to do. Women are thinking this is what they're supposed to enjoy, and they're just really not. So I think we're doing our young people, again, a really big disservice by allowing pornography to be the default sex educators. We need to be, giving young people a whole lot of other information, images, descriptions of how to enjoy sex that's not just what you see in porn.
Yeah, so again, that reality versus perception, that whilst that might be what you're seeing in porn, you're perceiving that that's what a particular gendered partner might like. What it comes down to is having those conversations. Like,
that's right.
Would you like to experiment with me and trying blah? Could I do this? And really working on that consent, as opposed to this is what I've learned and think that this is acceptable and okay. And again, it comes down to those discussions, doesn't it? And just really being able to, comfortably have those discussions with young people about what to potentially expect and what it might be like versus what they've seen in porn, because we know that it's not reality.
That's right.